Welcome to the coop. Trying a different angle. It's been a minute. Got some apples, so you'll probably get some good action from the chickens. They got really big. Life just happens, man. If you're a content creator, I said it on my Facebook, kudos to you. My hat's off to you. It is so hard to maintain that everyday lifestyle. But keep fighting. Keep getting back there. Somebody's got something that you got to say or something you did that's probably going to be, helpful in the long run. But so the Charlie Kirk thing's been everywhere. And I'm still processing it like a lot of people are. And I'm not going to go into it. There's just way too much to go into. That literally would just, you could talk for days. You'd have to go live and pretty much just have people follow you around for whatever your thoughts are on that whole thing in the moment. But I do want to say is, you've been conditioned. That's it, man. You've been conditioned. All these things that they did to try and understand the human brain and how it works and what, what can be used to control you as a human. They're paying off like crazy. So back in the day, they started a whole thing, but I believe when Whitey Bulger was in prison, they gave him LSD. They were doing LSD, studies and things like that on prisoners. They're using this stuff. So they gather all this information, they take it, and they desensitize things. They're forcing people to use the word unalive instead of murder. Unalive is an easier word to hear. The biggest thing that comes from this is a man was murdered on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, and you didn't feel anything. You didn't. You watched so many movies, this stuff has been put in your face for so long that you didn't feel anything. Some of you actually went back and watched it over and over again. There's people on there slow motioning a man's last moment, that getting shot with a bullet. Hey, look at the little girl sitting up there. This is the best thing in the world? You got to get out the way, girl. This is the best thing in the world, and it's the worst thing in the world at the same time. So, without it, we can't function anymore. With it, it's an evil that just puts things in. It separates you from reality, and that's why you see so many murders and so many, violent acts from people, because you're so far from reality that there's no feeling. There's nothing there. There's very little remorse most times. So you've been conditioned, desensitized to reality. The other thing they did was, through these studies, they have divided. There's so much division, and you can go back as far as you want, but there was, we've been divided 3 ways, and I thought that was it, racially. You've been divided racially. That's a guarantee. It's sad to say that, but reality is you've been divided racially. You've been divided politically. The other one you've been divided by is common sense and nonsense. These are the things that I thought was pretty much it, but the final one you're going to see right now is you're going to be divided believers and non-believers. Hey, you know what? Somebody said something about, I believe in Jesus. I follow Jesus. Saying you believe in Jesus desensitizes that as well. Jesus was a real person. It's proven. It's history. He walked in the places he walked. He was documented in the history books that he was a real person, like physically walked, just like Aristotle, Socrates, Hitler, me, you. We are real people. He's just one that made the books. And to say, I believe in Jesus, yeah, everybody believes, that he was a real person. The difference is we we agree with the fact that he rose from the dead, and that's the game changer. No other religion can claim that or prove that. So I don't know what advice to give. I don't know what to do as far as, words of encouragement, but something's got to change. It really does, because you've been desensitized, you've been conditioned, and you've been divided. Not as a country, but as a world, as a human race. You've been divided and conditioned. What's next? Don't know. For me, as a disciple that follows Jesus Christ, I believe that it's going to get pretty bad for people with beliefs of, biblical beliefs. I encourage you to stand up and stand strong and just, stand on the Word of God. Don't argue, don't attack, don't belittle, don't, show love, show care, because that's what it comes down to. That the belief is there's only one way to heaven, that's through Jesus Christ. And sin separates you from Him. So if you're living in sin, it's our responsibility to kind of not throw it in your face, not point it out, but to encourage you that, what you're doing right now isn't going to get you to heaven. Good people don't go to heaven. Saved people go to heaven. Sunday's coming up tomorrow. You know me. It's Sunday. It's time to go to church. Find your way to a church. Man, this little chicken over here is all up in my face. Find your way to a church, man. But that's my take so far. I'm sure that I'll have a Charlie Kirk thing or a moment, but the first thing that needs to happen is we got to stop being so sensitive about our feelings and be okay with people saying you're wrong, and us saying, I feel like you can say that to me, but I feel like you're wrong. And then the other person saying, okay, we'll agree to disagree. That's a saying for a reason. We'll agree to disagree. And then cordially go about your way. You don't have to be friends with everybody. You don't have to hang out. You don't have to have conversations with people. Walk away. If it's not a conversation that's good for you, walk away. And then don't let it eat you up all day long. These people have their opinions and you have yours. That's it. That's what life's about, man. We're all created differently. Our brains work differently. But it feels good to get back here, and I think I like this angle, other than the fact that I got chicken legs, no pun intended. I might stick with this one, but love y'all. Good to be back in the coop. We're going to get at this, and if you're content creating, keep going, man. Keep going. Whether you got 1 follower or 1 million followers, that 1 follower might be the reason that you're doing what you're doing. And it might just bless them or change their life. And you'll never know. But if you quit, it'll never happen. So, yeah, love y'all. Have a great day.